So welcome to your practice. This is a practice that will help drop us into the earth element, and it will specifically help us connect with the qualities of abundance that are associated with this season. The essential oil that we'll work with is Coriander Essential Oil, so take your coriander and keep that close. And we'll start by lying down. Just so that you know, before you lie down, we'll work with a bolster, and you may need a block as well towards the end of practice. And if you don't have a bolster, you can create your own comfy situation with a blanket, roll up blanket, or some cushions. But for now, let's come to lie down on our backs. And if the lower back is sensitive in any way, you can take the knees bent and the feet wide and have the knees touching. If the lower back feels fine, you can just extend the legs out, and taking your coriander essential oil, just placing one drop onto the finger, and we're going to apply it to the belly button area. So you can take your diluted coriander and just circle it around the area of the belly button, just around the rim of the belly button area, and then hold perhaps gently the finger over the belly button area if it's not too sensitive, and maybe even place the other hand over the top of that, and just let yourself rest here for a few moments. Slow, gentle breathing as you connect into the way that the earth supports you. So feeling the quality of the ground beneath you, and allowing your mind now to travel through all the places and the spaces, the ways that earth supports us, the way that she gives us everything we need. She gives us the food that we eat, the air that we breathe, the water that we drink. Generous and continually giving everything, the clothes that we wear, everything that we enjoy and that helps us to live our life is provided to us by the earth. So as you rest here, connecting into all the ways that the earth supports you, all the different ways that the earth supports you. And knowing that coriander essential oil also helps us to connect to this quality of abundance, this sense of receiving and being full with all of the good things, the ingredients for a full life. As you continue here, maybe you place the finger underneath your nose, just as you breathe in the aroma of the coriander, enjoying that for a couple of long breaths. And then slowly bending the knees if they're not already, and bringing the soles of the feet up to the sky, exploring happy baby, taking the outside edges of the feet with your hands, drawing the knees towards the armpits. And if that's too strong for you today, you can hold ankles, you can even hold the backs of the knees as you continue to explore what it means to present the soles of the feet to the sky, allowing the tailbone to drop and the back of the neck to gently lengthen as the chin tucks in. And taking a few slow, long, steady, even breaths here. Again, noticing the connection of the back, the lower back to the floor. Even the shoulder blades begin to drop onto the floor. Fully supported here. Beginning to sweetly open the hips. Softening the gaze, softening the face. Softening the jaw, the shoulders, even a sense of softening of the hips. And this is really a season of softening. If we look out in nature, and see what's happening in this season of late summer, which corresponds to the earth element. We can see that it's almost as if she is taking a pause. We're really at the point of kind of full ripeness, where the fruits on the trees are weighing heavy. There's a sense almost that the plants in nature or in your garden, as you see them, there's almost a sense of kind of gentle wilting in the heat, the exhale of the end of summer. And this is also reflected in our own body, in our own systems. There's a softening. There's a quality of rest before the season turns. Taking one more long breath here into your belly. And slowly exhaling. And then bringing your knees together and rolling onto your side. And then pushing into the palm of the hand and coming up to all fours. Taking shoulders right underneath the wrists and your hips right over your knees, making a tabletop position with your body. Breathe in, lift the face as if lifting the face to the sky, and exhale, arch the back. Good, inhale, lift the face to the sky. Couple of cat-cow movements, and exhale, reverse. Pressing onto the tops of the feet. One more like this, inhaling, lifting the face, dropping the belly. Exhaling. Inhale, please, to a flat back. Exhale, tuck your toes, lift your hips to a downward facing dog. Line up the ears with the upper arms and take a gentle bend into the knees. Walking the dog, bending the left knee and straightening the right leg. And vice versa, bending right knee, straightening left leg. And let the movements be slow and lush and full. Just feeling into your hamstrings, the back of your body. How does your body feel as you step into your practice? And acknowledging any spaces or places that you feel tight or tender or that might need a bit of extra attention as you move through the sequence that we have today. Come to stillness now in your dog as the knees stay gently bent. Knees point in the direction of the second and the third toes. So let's line ourselves up with our dog as the heels reach towards the floor. And the upper arms rotate outwards as the shoulders move towards the heart. The sits bones lift up and back, up and back, up and back. And as you breathe out, the navel draws back to the spine. As you breathe in, the spine lengthens. As you breathe out, the navel draws back to the spine. And then now on your next breath, walk your feet in about 1 foot's pace. So your dog is slightly shortened, and maybe your dog, your heels reach the floor in your shortened dog, maybe not, it's of no consequence. And bringing your right hand across your left shin, holding either left calf, left ankle, or perhaps left knee. Your knees can be bent here. Left heel. And if you have the heel into the palm of the hand, really throw the heel into the palm of the hand as you gaze underneath the left armpit and look up skyward. Again, long, slow, steady breaths here will help. And the right hip moves over to its side. A twist happens around the center of the torso. Let's come back to center. Come onto your knees just for a break. Welcome pause, breathing in, lift the face. Breathing out, arch the back. And breathing in, a flat back. And breathing out, dog. Feet walk in 1 foot pace. Left hand crosses right shin to hold calf, ankle or heel. As you gaze underneath the right armpit and twisting to the right, keeping the left heel drawing down, left hip moving to its own side. Breathing into the left lung to facilitate the twist, the rotation. And one more breath here. And return back to center, and then walk your feet towards your hands. Good. Inhale, lift and lengthen the heart forwards, and exhale and fold in. Walk your feet now a little wider, perhaps to the width of the mat. And if you like to take a blanket, you could take a blanket underneath your heels or roll up the mat as you come into Malasana, a squat pose. It's a little early on maybe for you to be squatting and the heels do lift, then please do take a blanket or a rolled up mat underneath your hips. Draw your hands together. Draw the hands down to the center of the heart. Pressing the knees into the elbows into the knees. I'll turn so you can see me a little easier. Just working into the hips, opening the hips, lifting the chest, placing the hands back down onto the floor, coming back into a forward fold. You can keep the feet nice and wide as the mat. Good, and then let's roll up slowly, slowly, slowly. Head comes last. Keep the arms away from the body so that you take the rolling out of the back. Coming to mountain pose, breathing in, breathing out, belly button to spine. Inhale, take hands overhead. We'll move through a little bit of a modified salutation. It'll be an earth salutation. Exhale, fold forwards. So the earth element, inhale, lift and lengthen. Feet are as wide as the mat. And exhale, fold in. Inhale, lift and lengthen once more. Exhale, turn the feet out, come into a squat position. The earth element is really the axis around which all the other elements move. So it's the element that is balanced with fire, is balanced with water. So in these earth salutations, we'll connect to those elements of earth, fire and water. Good. Place the hands down. Come back to a forward fold, turn the feet in, take the left foot back behind you, walk the hands inside the right foot, lift the chest and look forwards. Good, and then take the right hand outside the right foot and come into a plank position. Drop the knees, untuck the toes and lower down. Inhale to a cobra. Pressing onto the tops of the feet. Feet can come a little wider. And then exhale to a child's pose. Knees wide, toes touch. Resting the forehead on the floor and feel the support of the head on the floor. Inhale back up to fours. And exhale to downward facing dog. Good. Bring the left leg all the way up. Bend at the knee and open the hip. And then swing the left leg through with control. So you're now in a lunge. Sweep the hands forwards, bring the hands all the way up. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift and lengthen. And exhale and fold. Inhale, rising up. Exhale, hands to heart. Let's go the other side. Inhale, hands coming up. And exhale, folding down. Take the feet as wide as the mat. Inhale, lift and lengthen the heart. And exhale and fold.
Inhale, lift once more, pubic bone to belly button to heart. Exhale, sink down into Malasana. And if Malasana is too strong for you, you can come up with the hips slightly higher, or again, take a blanket underneath you. Place the hands onto the floor, lift up into a forward fold, walk the feet in slightly. Right foot comes back this time. Left hand inside, left foot, gazing forwards. Good. Left hand outside, plank. Knees and lower down. Elbows come into the ribs. Inhale to cobra. Exhale to child's pose. Knees wide, toes touch. Inhale to fours and then to dog. Reaching up the right leg. Lift it up. Bend at the knees, open, right hip stacks over left hip. And then with control, bring the right knee all the way through. Drop the left leg down, left knee down, sweep the arms up. Whoops. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift and lengthen. And exhale, squeeze the belly in as you fold in. Inhale, root down to rise. Exhale, draw the palms into the heart. I'll do one more on either side. Inhale, hands come up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift. Exhale, left foot all the way, exhale, fold in. Inhale, lift, take the feet nice and wide. Nearly forgot the squat, sinking down into your squat. Lengthen pubic bone to belly button to heart. And exhale, hands on the floor, folding back in. Left foot back, gaze forwards. It's almost like you make an arrow of your body, your head gazing forwards, your heel reaching back. And then come into plank. You can take full chaturanga or drop the knees. I'm going to take the modified, dropping the knees, untucking the toes and lowering down. Inhale to cobra. Exhale to wide-kneed child's pose. Inhale to fours. Downward facing dog. Left leg lifts. Bend at the knees and open up here. And this time you can bring the knee all the way into the nose, kiss the knee, and then bring the left foot through, drop onto the back knee, sweep your arms forwards as you peel your chest off of your thighs, lift the chest, pubic bone to belly button lifts, and then exhale into your forward fold. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, halfway lift. Exhale, squeeze the belly and fold. Inhale, root down through the soles of the feet to rise all the way up. And draw the hands down into the heart. Inhale, hands come up. Exhale, fold. Lift and lengthen. Walk the feet to the width of the mat and exhale to sink into Malasana. Hands to heart, breathing in, lengthening front body. And exhale, plant the hands as you fold back down. Walk the feet in a little bit as you take right foot back. Gazing forwards, looking where you're going. Good. Exhale, plank. Inhaling. Exhale, lowering full chaturanga. Drop onto the knees if you need the support. To cobra. Dragging the heart through, and then exhale to your child's pose. Inhale to fours. Exhale to downward facing dog. Right leg lifts. Bend at the right knee and open the right hip all the way up. Right hip stacks over left hip. You can bend the left leg. Re-square the hips. Bring the right knee in. Give it a little gentle kiss. Bring the right foot through, drop the back knee down, sweeping the arms up for a lunge.
Press into the ball of the front foot in your lunge as much as onto the top of the back foot. Forward fold. Inhale, lift and lengthen. And exhale, folding back in. Inhale, root down to rise up. Exhale, draw the hands back into your heart. We'll take a little modified now of this Earth Salutation as the hands come up. Further modification as we fold forwards on the exhale. The inhale lifts the heart once more. And the exhale folds in. Inhale, widen the feet. Exhale, sink into Malasana. Inhale, lengthen the front body. Exhale, plant the hands and fold forwards. Inhale, lift and lengthen. And exhale, take the left leg back. Plant the right knee onto the right armpit, the right armpit onto the right knee. So you're making a plug with your armpit and your knee. Looking behind you where the ball of the left foot is, just swap that for the heel of the foot. So you're in a warrior foot now. Turned in around 45 degrees, the back foot. Inhale, look forwards. And then exhale, begin to lengthen the front leg from the ball of the front foot to the sits bone of the right sits bone in a variation of pyramid. And the front leg will probably stay bent, for some of us more bent than others. Inhale, coming forwards once more, bending the right knee right over, plumb over the right ankle. Exhale, straighten. And come on, tented fingers if that's more useful for you. Inhale, bending. And exhale, straightening. Good. Inhale, rebend. And then throwing the arms forwards, peel yourself up into warrior one. Exhale, sinking. Inhale, walk the right foot slightly over to the middle of the mat for warrior two. Inhale, straighten the right leg. Triangle pose. Inhale, lengthen here. The palm faces the front of your mat. And exhale, the belly button draws down to the spine. Your gaze can be up or down, whichever feels kindest on your neck. Take one more breath here. And exhale, take the top hand now onto the left hip, bend the front knee and take the right hand so that it's 6 to 12 inches to the right of the front pinky toe. Walk the back foot in a couple of paces, and as soon as you lift the back foot off of the floor, we're going into half moon. Flex the back foot. You can bring the left hand all the way up to the sky. Palm faces forwards. And here you can have a play and really be playful with this as you bring the bottom hand to hold the space at the center of the breastbone, the heart. Just playing with balance. Take a smile as you bring both hands down, downward facing dog. Inhaling and exhaling. 2 more breaths to gather and center. Inhaling in your dog. Exhaling, navel to spine. Inhaling, lengthening spine. Exhaling, centering and stabilizing everything. Bring your left foot in between your hands. Good. Bring the back foot planted now like a warrior foot. Inhale, gaze forwards. And exhale, lengthen the front leg. If you need your hands to be rested higher on blocks, then that's an option. Inhale, bending the front knee, gaze is forwards. Exhale, maintain all the connections, left knee to left armpit as you draw the left sit bone back. Inhale forwards, press onto the ball of the front foot. Keep pressing onto the ball of the front foot, extending to the left sit bone as you straighten the left leg as much as you can. Inhaling back to a bended front knee.
Sweep the arms forward so they're parallel with the floor, and then peel your chest off of your left thigh for Warrior One. Breathing in and breathing out. Good. Excuse my back now as we come into a Warrior Two. Sinking into front knee. Straighten the front leg and reach, reach, reach. So this is now your left leg if you're on the same side as me. Triangle pose. Breathing in and breathing out. Take the top hand onto the hip now. Take the left hand to the left side of the pinky toe. I'm just going to move my foot so I don't come off of the mat. And lift the back foot for Ardha Chandrasana, half moon. Really, really key is to, for me anyway, for balance, is to flex the back foot more than you think. So the toes almost curl towards the right shin. I also sometimes like to take a micro bend in the standing leg. Somehow that gives me more balance. And then playing with balance, if you wish, the left hand, maybe you just tap the heart, or maybe you hold the heart space, center the breastbone. Take one more breath with me here. And then framing the front foot, wall is always handy. Downward facing dog. Inhale, come onto fours. Exhale, come to seated. So taking a breath here on hips onto the heels, inhaling just to catch your breath after that earth sequence, stimulating fire and the flow of water. And it really wouldn't be an earth sequence without a tree pose. So let's come back to standing. Take your hands onto your hips initially. And let's take the right foot, take it to the ankle. And this is a good place to start. If balance is really challenging for you, this is your good place to start. If you want to move forwards, you can take it to below the knee or above the knee. Find a spot in the distance that isn't moving. And just gently rest your gaze, a soft gaze on that spot. Have a sense that there are roots growing out of the sole of your standing foot. And the trunk of your body is steady. You can then bring hands to heart center. You can breathe in as you grow tall, your branches, imaginary branches of your tree, maybe rising up, your arms lifting to the sky. Maybe lift your gaze if balance is steady. Exhale, drawing the hands through the prayer down the midline. Let's go the other side. Bringing the leg to the appropriate position for you. This side is trickier for me today. Breathing in. And breathing out, belly button to spine, really helps you to stay connected to your center, to your central axes around which everything spins, to your earth center. If you have it and if you wish, you can take the hands up and overhead, opening the arms, palms to sky, lifting the gaze to further extend your balance. Take a smile and then bring the hands back down the middle of the body. Release. Maybe give it a little shake. Take hands next to you in mountain pose. Inhale, bring hands up and overhead. Travel the palms down the midline as you fold forwards once more. Inhale, lift and lengthen the heart. And then exhale, we'll come for a final squat into that pose. Noticing how maybe things have shifted now through the practice as you move into this pose
after we've been here many times before. And then exhale, come to sit down. So we're going to come into a supported pigeon pose now, and it's nice to work with the bolster in this supported pose. So if you, as I say, if you don't have a bolster, you can make lots of creative alternatives with pillows and blankets and all sorts of things. Let's come into supported downward dog before we move into the pigeon pose. So taking the hands either side of the bolster, and this feels really nice to do your dog in this way as you lift the hips and rest the head. I need to walk myself forwards a little bit. You might need to do the same as you rest the forehead just onto the bolster, and it's really the hairline rather than the forehead, so it's where the forehead meets the hair, and just gently softly resting here. And then let's bring right knee to the outside edge of your mat and flex the right foot as you walk the left foot back. Draw the bolster really close to you, so it might even sit slightly over your right shin, and come to rest. Just going to have to watch the mic as I come down. We'll spend a couple of minutes here. What's really nice about this, I'm going to come up so that you can hear me as I'm talking through the mic. What's really nice about this particular pose with the bolster is that you are obviously opening and working with the hips, but you're really supported, really supported. The heart is supported. The full weight of the torso is supported. So there's an opportunity to fully surrender, to fully drop in, to fully give in to the pose. And once more, maybe just considering as you rest here some specific ways that you feel supported in your life. Maybe there's a particular person who often helps you, whether they know it or whether they don't know it. Maybe it's somebody you're very close and intimate with, or maybe it's somebody you simply have access to through their books or their writings, or other ways that you connect with them. Maybe it's somebody who's a continual presence in your life, or maybe it's somebody who just kind of drops in and out, but just maybe calling to mind now somebody who embodies that earth presence for you. Feels a very nourishing, supportive presence in your life. And you can offer this pose, you can offer gratitude, you can offer this energy back to them of thanks and appreciation for the way they bring abundance into your life, the way they fill, nourish and support you. Good, we'll take 5 more breaths here, so I'll be quiet for the final 5 breaths for you to fully drop in. Good. And what we're now going to do is slowly come out of the pose, so you can walk yourself up and sink onto the right hip and bring your left leg all the way round. Just move the bolster to the side. You might need that in a moment. Extend both legs out in front of you. give them a little massage, maybe a little shake. And then bending the right knee back, folding the right knee back behind you. And let me just turn so that you can see a little bit. The right heel is outside of the right hip. So removing the flesh of the right calf to give yourself a little bit more room facilitates that. So we're not sitting on that right heel, it's just outside of the right hip. And this might be plenty for you. And if it is, or if you need support here, you could take a block or a blanket underneath your hips to lift yourself up. And that would be great. If this is something that is coming, fairly easily to you, then you can take the bolster, place it right behind you, and you can come to lie back with the left leg extended and the right leg continuing to be folded all the way back. Just taking a few sweet breaths here in this pose, which is opening the front of the body, opening the meridians that are associated with the earth element and the stomach and the spleen organs, the two organs associated with the earth element, which run along the front of the body. Very good. Couple more breaths here. And slowly, whether you are seated or reclined, you can begin to bring yourself out of the pose. Bring the back leg forward, so once more you're in a little forward fold. Perhaps you give yourself a little mini massage there. And then let's swing once more into a supported pigeon. And nice to come in from downward dog if that feels nice for you. Taking left knee to the outside edge of the bolster. Drawing back onto the right knee, the right foot. Folding the torso over the bolster. And resting here for a couple of minutes. And give the full weight of your body to the bolster. Notice if there's a holding back anywhere. You can just travel your awareness through the body as you notice any pulling away, pulling back from fully dropping in. As you rest here, I'm going to read to you a little understanding, a little quote from a book by Gail Reichstein called Wood Becomes Water, as she points towards the earth element. And she says the earth is, or earth rather as an element, is a matrix that contains, allows and supports living processes, as well as a fulcrum around which the other elements turn. Like the growth medium in a petri dish, or a grid on which a graph is plotted, earth is a medium in which everything else happens. It is passive and receptive, defining the space in which matter exists. So this is an energy that contains, allows and supports all living processes. And we're at the point in our creative cycle within the Harmony Principle where we are taking stock, where we are receiving the full harvest of the cycle, acknowledging the abundance. And all the ways that we are supported. Take 5 more breaths here and really drink in that quality of support and nourishment that this element brings us. And then slowly coming out, swinging the right leg all the way around, extending both legs out in front of you, bringing the bolster behind you if you're going to recline. Folding back the left leg, releasing the calf from behind the left thigh to give your knee a little bit more space. And again, if this is plenty, or if you need further support, taking a block, a blanket underneath your hips so that you're lifted and just staying in this upright position. And for many of us, this is really, absolutely plenty. Lots happening here. If you want to recline, you can come back fully over the bolster. And let the shoulders drape open. And taking a few moments here, fully relaxed. Take 3 more breaths. At the end of that round of breaths, you can begin to elevate yourself up and out from the pose. Swing the back leg forwards, and we'll take Shavasana here. So perhaps you'd like to take your bolster underneath the knees so there's even more support in your Shavasana, and come to fully lie down. You might like to reacquaint yourself with your coriander, so you might like to, just before you drop in, take 1 drop onto the finger and just rub underneath your nose. Come back to lie down. And just palming the hands, so rubbing the hands together here to create some warmth and heat between the hands. And then placing the palms of the hands gently over the eyes to soothe you. Holding this placement for a few breaths with the hands over the eyes. Fully calming and soothing the whole nervous system. A sense of regulation, dropping in, connection once more to the earth as she supports you underneath your body.
And whenever you feel ready, you can release the palms from the eyes and bring the hands by the side. If you wish, you may wish to keep the hands over the eyes for the full duration of your Shavasana. Noticing all the points where the body is now connecting to the earth, the back of the head, the shoulders, the shoulder blades, portions of the back, the hips, the thighs connecting to the bolster, the back of the knees, the tops of the calves, all this support and potential for sinking in. The heels. With each exhale, a sense of melting, a sense of softening, a sense of yielding into these places of support. Noticing that the more you relax, the more supported you are. I'll take one more minute here in silence. Slowly now begin to deepen your breath, please, welcoming yourself back. Movement to the fingers and toes as you begin to wake the body back up. Perhaps you stretch the arms overhead and press the lower back into the floor, extending, stretching. And bringing knees into chest, hugging the knees into the chest. Little rock from side to side. And then rolling onto your side, keeping the eyes closed if you can. And when you're ready, using the hands to bring yourself up, coming to a seated position to close the practice together. Please bring your hands to prayer in front of your heart space. And take one long, slow breath in. And slow breath out as you acknowledge yourself, the practice, and the gifts that it brings. Any ways that you feel the practice has elevated or supported you. Acknowledging those and taking one long breath into those newly created spaces. And a soft exhale as you drop the chin to the chest. And smile, welcoming yourself back to your day. Thank you for practicing. See you next time.